Welcome back. Let's look at creating a pivot table and doing a very simple first example. I needed some data to use for the example, so you can see that I've retrieved it from this source here. So here's the data that's been imported into Excel. I select just a value within that range, go to the Insert ribbon, Pivot Table, Pivot Table. It identifies the range, and it usually does that correctly. And if it is correctly identified, then just click on OK. Now let's look at what that does. It identifies these fields within that range, and then it provides a grid that I can use and drag and drop those fields and create reports. So you can see the layout here of rows and columns and values, and there's even a report filter. Well, let's look at the donations to Democrats and Republicans by election cycle. So let's put the election cycle in the row, which is just going to be the year. And then let's put the donations in the values field. Maybe correct the formatting here. Okay, and so it's just that easy that we've been able to summarize that data by year into these columns. Maybe we want to look at that in terms of a chart rather than just values. So with this pivot table range selected, if I look up at the top here, it says Pivot Table Tools. If I select that, one of the ribbons under that is Options and Pivot Chart. Suppose I want a column chart. I select that, say OK. Let me hide this field list. And so then I'm giving this chart, and so you can see the breakdown with what I had before. A nice feature of the chart is that it's also filterable. If I click on the election cycle, suppose I don't want to include 2012, so I deselect that and say OK. And then it changes that display, that chart, dynamically to remove that particular range. And so now I have a nice representation of this data that I was looking at. Thanks. See you next time.